Hello guys and welcome to another Redstone video. And this video is just to ask you what you want to see as a tutorial. Now I'm going to build an entire clock, like a digital clock that keeps time, minutes, or seconds, minutes, hours, all according to like a real life clock, not Minecraft time, but real life time. Yeah. Anyway, so here's the basic circuit. Pretty much bug-free for the most part. And I just have to adapt that onto there, and I can make a tutorial for it. If you want to do that. That would be a bit of a lengthy tutorial, but if you ever wanted to have the world's largest pocket watch, I can make a tutorial for you. And that just triggers every 10 seconds, which would then trigger the next digit, and then every 6 repetitions of that would trigger the next digit, and then every 10 repetitions the next digit, and then on and on and on. So it just chains forever. That's how this would work very simply. So this is the only one where you need the complicated timer system. Oh god, let me try and shut this off. Off, right then left. Going to trust my own judgment there. Anyway, on to the next option. And I can explain how that works at the end of the video. I'll explain how all of this works at the end of this video. And this is the next option, a 3x3 piston door. And I could just give it some context if you're wondering. Here would be your floor, except I would make these all, the same block. I just had it like this so that I could really design the circuit better. So here would be your floor, and imagine that there are walls here. And there you go. There's a 3x3 door. And I could do that for the tutorial. Or I could do, where's the other one? Here we go. Where did I want to go in this world? I know there was something very specific I wanted to show you. Shits. Wait, was it in this world? No, it wasn't in this world. Sorry. It was in this world. Yeah, okay. Here's the next question for tutorials. If you want to do like this kind of thing with just a simple door triggered by pistons, or you could have a really overcomplicated door like this, which I just like because I love overcomplicated things, and this is just so overcomplicated. It's beautiful. And the final few little tutorials would be something like this, where it's just a simple double extender or triple extender, which you could use as like an elevator if you wanted to hop on up there, then you would jump. And then I have this nicely by one condensed version, which I'm pretty sure I've showed this off in a video before, but I may not have. So this is condensed by one, except I just pop the button off to the side for convenience. And this is a triple piston extender that works with solid blocks. So here I have a fence because it's half a block higher, so you'll never have to jump to get to the next level. Damn it! I just phased in and out of that block. There we go. Okay, I keep phasing in and out of blocks. This is really distracting. Oh my god, 1.4, you glitched up my circuit. And by glitched up, I mean it just phasing in and out of shit. But either way, if you look, it goes all the way up there and comes all the way down. And if there's a fence here, then you can just step up. So ignoring the fact that 1.4 kind of glitched it up, the circuit itself works perfectly. Yeah, 1.4, let me show you that again. See, I phase inside the fence at that height. But anyway, I could condense this to just be a lot thinner, but a little bit deeper. I just felt like condensing it by 1. I don't know why. I think I was trying to do a really overcomplicated portcullis. So yeah, guys, those are all of your options. And, you know, comment what you want. And now I'm going to go back into the other world and explain how that clock circuit works, for any of you who might be wondering. Actually, I'll explain this one first. So this is obviously not the most compact it can be, but this is about as compact as I'm going to get it, because I don't really want to spend too much effort making a 3x3 piston door, because that's just not something I care about. I just felt like doing it because people were requesting a tutorial for it. So I could do this piston door, or I could do C&B's piston door, and his, oh my god, that thing is so compact. I could build one just to show you. It is really nice. But anyway, this works not really based on a glitch, but you'll see here in a second. Basically, if you notice, when this is going back in, so to speak, you'll notice that this line actually gets pushed back down, which can be better illustrated here. So there's the retraction, and then the extraction. Yeah. So if you saw there, and you have to really be noticing for it, these 2 blocks were actually pushed up so that they were like that, and then all 3 were up and they were in the wrong place, and then that piston came and shifted them all into the right spot. So here it is again in case you didn't see it. There you go. And the reason why you have to do this with my circuit as it is right now is because if, you know, that isn't pushed back down, then here's what will happen. Whoops. Wrong part. There we go. Yeah, and it pulls it out, and then there's just a gap there, and imagine all the rest of this is the same diamond block, and then there's just a gap in your door, and it looks really stupid. Like, that just doesn't look professional. Like, you can't have that. So my solution was just to say, fuck it, let it extend above, and then shove it back down. Which I like to think of as sort of like the brute force lazy method. If I show you one more time. Okay. And the rest of it's basically all timing. So I really don't want to go through that. Like, I'm not going to go through that unless I'm doing a tutorial. I was just explaining the basics of how these things work in case you're really confused. Now the clock thing, hopefully it's off right now. Yes, it is. You know what? It's much better explained on this model, because that's really just 2 of this. So what's going on here is I have a pulse circuit. These are just pulsers, which sort of pulse the signal for about a second. If you look, crud, it's hard to illustrate because I have this off. Whoa. If I go like that, then you can see it just sort of pulses the signal for a second. Ignoring all that jab above me. So it pulses the signal for a second based on this clock timing. Up into here, which causes this whole track to rotate up and over and down and over. So this whole thing is just sort of moving. Well, I can show you how it's moving. It's pretty easy to see. Although it is also pretty loud. So I'm just going to go in here and go like that. So if you see how this is moving, minus the glitchiness because I'm updating the piston so quickly. It's pretty straightforward how that works. I mean, how that loops. And then to turn it off, Anyway, now how it actually controls the numbers is a little bit more complicated, but not really. So it has inside of here, it just has redstone alternating with the repeater and the dust, and then on the other side, repeater and the dust alternating the other way, so that it can pull the current through. Now this could be all repeaters, but I like it better alternating because then the timing is slightly quicker. Anyway, how this works. So you have a transparent block in some lines and solid blocks in others. So the signal will be passed through in any line that has a solid block, and then as it rotates, that may become transparent or that may become a solid block, and then that either would have a signal or wouldn't have a signal. And each one of these corresponds to one line of pistons. Like that's one line, that's one line. Right behind there is one line, that's one line. These straight lines of pistons. So if I turn this back on, which really it doesn't matter which order I turn it on in for this one because single rotator. As you can see, it works perfectly. And what happens here is as this goes up, this line will either activate or be deactivated, which, come on, transparent block. There we go. Or be deactivated. In which case, it will not activate these pistons, or it will push them out. Which kind of, that makes up the number. Oof. I didn't explain that perfectly, but I don't want to do a full tutorial on it during this video, so just going to have to bear with me. Now this version is just condensed a lot widthwise by taking this and sort of cutting it in half and stacking 4 of the pistons on top of the other 4. So this is just 2 rotators. If you see here, there's one, and here's the other. And this design, while it works okay at the moment, it does glitch out occasionally because the way I have it linked right now with this version. This orange line, which controls the vertical pistons on the first rotator, is linked up to the horizontal pistons on the second rotator. And what that causes to happen is sometimes, basically, if the vertical ones are activated in this line, then it'll push up and change the number for the bottom set of lines. Basically, each rotator corresponds to a few lines, so the bottom rotator corresponds to these 3 lines and the 10-second output, and the top rotator corresponds to the top 4. Anyway, what will happen is if the verticals on the bottom get pushed, then it'll change the number on the bottom half, and then it won't change the number on the top half, and then they'll start to rotate, and the top half will just be lagging behind. So that's a problem with having it set up this way. Which is why, very simple fix, which I'll do in the next version, is instead of linking the vertical to the horizontal just because they were right there, I'll just wrap it around up here and link it there. And then, take that line back behind where it already is and link it up there. Yeah, so I really don't have to do anything. I just take that line, bring it back down to there. And on the other side, I need to take that line and bring it, that line to there and that line to here. Okay. Anyway, that's basically it, guys, because this isn't a tutorial video. So tell me what tutorial you want, and that was just the basics of how these things work in case you were really, really confused. And I'll see you guys later. Thanks so much for watching.